Okay, so I had absolutely no intention of ever buying this figure. I mean, zero intention of buying this figure. I was going to let this figure sit around, collect dust, and hopefully some good Samaritan or good worker at Target or Walmart will walk over and dust this figure off every now and then to try to make it look like it's still fresh and new, because once again, I had no intention of buying this figure. I had more intention of jumping out of a plane without a parachute than I did of buying this figure. I had more intention of jumping in front of oncoming traffic in the middle of a freeway than I did of buying this figure. There's a lot of things I was going to do. I wasn't going to buy this figure. But then one day last week, Lady Prime, she calls me up on FaceTime and says, "Hey baby, I'm over at Walmart. I had to go pick up some stuff and I happened to notice that there were a few new Transformers in the old fig aisle." She said, "Do you want any?" I was like, "Well, let me see what they got," even though I pretty much know what these waves are looking like. But I was like, maybe something came back in stock and shocked me. So she shows me. And then she comes in on this, "Ooh, look at this guy. Look at this Bulkhead. This guy looks cool." I'm like, "I'm not buying that thing. I'm not paying $32 for this figure." And she looks at me curiously and then looks down and then looks at the camera again. She was like, "No, it says it's $21.95. I said, "Honey, it's not $21. It's $32. I know how much Transformers cost." She said, "No, honey, I'm looking at the sign right now." She says to me, "It says $21.95. And at this point, I think she's trying to be funny. You know how like people who date weightlifters always want to try to prove that they can lift more than their weightlifter's significant other, or like how a person who's dating a comedian always tries to be a little funnier than a comedian. I'm thinking, honey bun, who's the one that runs the microscopically popular YouTube channel based around the collecting of Transformers, and who doesn't? I mean, I think of all people, I will know how much it costs." She showed me this, and then she showed me that this Bulkhead, the other three Bulkheads, and I believe it was a blaster and a sweep, were all above a price tag that said $21.97. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's interesting, but I know how much it costs. She looked at me on the phone on the FaceTime and said, "No, I think they're going to give it to us for $21.97. I think they're going to honor the price." And I said, "Okay, good luck with that, honey." Fast forward about 45 minutes, the wife comes home, comes in the house with this smile on her face, and she hands me a bag with this Bulkhead in it. And she said, "Look at the receipt." I pull out the receipt, this receipt right here, where it shows that they scanned it for $31.49. My wife got in their face about how much it actually was showing on the price tag under all the figures. They voided it and they honored the $21.97. So here we go with Bulkhead. And honestly, I really wanted to rip this thing to shreds. I really did, but I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I make a note every time I do any kind of discussions on this channel, reviews or anything of the like. If it's a good figure, I'm gonna say it's a good figure, no matter what my previous feelings may have been. And this is a really good figure. I mean, I understand the beef people have with this figure. They were like, "Oh man, it's not I believe it was the animated version that they wanted. They wanted that version of this, and this is more of a G1 version of Bulkhead." And I get it. But I mean, it's really actually well done. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example right now. So the front of this is a completely painted clear plastic chest piece, and like it's it's, you can't tell. The paint job is so like thick, you can't even tell. And then on the back of this plastic piece, first thing I saw when I originally looked at this in the store way back when it first started coming out in stores, I was like, oh god, they just put everything in, they just stuck a pin through a plastic piece. Oh no, they decided to go the sort of third-party MP route, where they took the clear plastic parts and they stuck them on the ends. But the major bulk of the figure, the major bulk of the weight in the transformation is opaque plastic. So even if the clear plastic was to chip or crack, it would still be able to transform because of the opaque plastic holding the pin together. So kudos, they actually fixed that design thing. Now, the other elephant in the room, the entire chest plate is also one big hollow piece. I mean, you literally lift this thing to the side and all you see is his blank insides. I mean, it's just hollow in there. It actually looks like a tennis court because it's just one big line in the middle and two ends right there. It's pretty freaking hollow. But I mean, unless you're posing him straight down like that, which most people won't, it's actually good. It's well done. Like, it's just smothered in paint. I'm blown away by how much paint is actually on this thing. There's paint on the legs, there's paint on the chest, there's paint on the arms. It's actually really well done. There's paint on the face. I'm blown away by this. I really am blown away by this. Another thing about the clear plastic is actually some of the parts I'm noticing that it's double enforced. It's like there's thicker clear plastic in certain places that, like for instance, anchor the chest piece into the waist. So it actually holds in place very, very well. Shockingly so. I mean, it really is a well done figure. They fixed all of the design issues, at least in this figure, that they were having with all of their previous deluxe figures that had the clear plastic being the anchor of the piece for the transformation. Now he comes with weapons. Now the accessories for this guy are, two of them are actually cool. The other one is like meh, but like the riot shield is freaking fun. Like, I really enjoy the riot shield. There's a lot of different things you could do with the riot shield that it just looks like the hammer of doom. Like, it's just like this thing came down on you, your head's coming off. This thing looks amazing. And the cool thing about his other accessory, the actual mace piece that goes around his hand. Now, granted, a lot of people don't like the mace on the hand. I like it as an accessory. I think it's really cool. And as many people pointed out, it's blast effect compatible, so you can do some real freaking damage with this thing. It is actually, it's once again well done. Now, as for the machine gun thing, this thing is freaking useless. It's like it doesn't even sit in place. I don't feel like it complements the figure at all. So I mean, it's there for aesthetic purposes. It doesn't look right in his hands. It just for aesthetic purposes, it exists. Put it like that. It exists for aesthetic purposes. Posability, he has pretty much all of the posable things you want. And he has wrist rotation. He has arms that bend more than a 90. They damn near pull a double jointed motion on them. His backpack is pretty clean. There's barely anything obstructing as his legs go forward and backwards. He has the standard ankle pivot. Head goes up, head kind of cheats down, but yeah, it's well done. Now, you transform this guy. The transformation is very, very intuitive. I gotta give him that. It's not a overwhelming transformation. It's not underwhelming. It just does what it needs to do. And it's a really well done transformation. I actually enjoy transforming this thing. I've done it quite a few times and I really just enjoy this thing. And I mean, overall, like the truck mode, the one thing I gotta give the sort of battle armor truck mode, carrier truck mode, is that the weapon storage. Like, the fact that you can take all of his weapons and store them in the back, cover it up, and just go about your business. Even though I'm probably never going to really, for extended periods of time, display this guy in truck mode, I'm actually really happy with that option of being able to just transform him and everything can stay in one place. I don't have to sit around digging through boxes and all my little baggies trying to find all of his accessories. They fit right there in the figure in every single mode, and that is definitely a thumbs up. But yeah, overall, let's look at the size here. So this is him with Blaster. This is him with Wreck-Gar. This is him with Rodimus, just for a quick comparison. And I mean, honestly, I can't say anything really bad about this figure. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised. I think for the regular old collector in the community, this is definitely a wait until it goes on clearance transformer. If you can wait, based on the amounts that I've seen in stores, this is going to go on clearance. Get it on clearance. It's not the best version of Bulkhead. But it's a damn good figure. It's actually really surprisingly well done. I really enjoy this figure. I had no intention of getting it, but here I am with it, and I'm kind of glad I got it. This one and the Blaster, I gotta say, two fantastic Voyagers. But now it's your turn to shout out. Now it's your turn to tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think I'm dead wrong about this figure? Do you think I'm just being a little bit generous because of the price I paid? Do you think this is actually something you want to pick up or are considering picking up? Do you think this thing would just go down like I was thinking before, as the annals of another as a bust for Hasbro? But yeah, I seriously think that everything with this figure, I mean, honestly, this is what you expect from the modern day leader class. Accessories, posability, barely any gaps in the actual aesthetic other than inside the chest. But if you're not, once again, if you're not looking from the bottom up, hey, you know. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. But with that, please feel free, like, share, comment, subscribe. Be safe, be good. And this is the Drunken Prime, cracking open another beer and signing off.